Now, the state of Georgia has a basic plan for what happens if somebody's incapacitated. Emergency situations are treated differently from just kind of run-of-the-mill normal life activities. In an emergency situation, Georgia has the doctrine of implied consent. That means if you are brought into a hospital unconscious from a car accident or you've sustained some sort of injury, Georgia law assumes that you give consent to the doctors to do what they need to save your life. If you want something other than that, you need to tattoo across your chest, do not resuscitate, and even then, they probably will still attempt to save your life because the doctrine of implied consent doesn't matter what you've actually said. In Georgia, that's implied. The other situation is the involuntary committal process. This is a mental health admission where if you are determined to be a danger to yourself or to others, you can be held for up to 72 hours. And if they want to hold you longer than 72 hours, they must go before the probate judge, and the probate judge has to be convinced that you are still a danger to yourself and to others, and then the probate judge can authorize you to be held in an appropriate mental health facility for whatever length of time they determine. Again, that is indefinite as well. So the court can actually, you can be held for a long time on an involuntary committal. Georgia has a nice little known law, 3192, which authorizes certain individuals to make medical consents even if it's not an emergency situation. This is helpful only in Georgia, does not apply outside the state of Georgia because it's a Georgia-specific law. But if you have an adult child, 21, 22, who is incapable of making their own decisions, the doctors are permitted to turn to you to make those decisions. However, there are HIPAA problems with this, and there's some other issues. And just because you're allowed to doesn't mean the doctors will accept it. So, you know, there's no way to force doctors to accept your authority using this. This is only telling doctors you have the authority to accept decisions this way, but it doesn't mean they have to. So oftentimes we are seeing doctors say, look, you know, y'all need to get a guardianship established so we know who has the ability to consent to treatment for this individual.